Good morning, everyone. This is Chanakya Lokam. I am the Director for Marketing at Innovation at Miracle Software Systems. Thank you so much for joining us today and spending your time with us to explore the topics around sentiment analysis, Hadoop, and Apache Flume. I will be joined today along with my colleague Monica Chirukuri from the Miracle Innovation Labs team as well. She's a lead researcher for the big data space. With that being said, let's go ahead and start off. So today's agenda will quickly give you an introduction to Miracle and what we do at Miracle. We'll also be talking about the Miracle Innovation Labs and why we feel innovation is such an important aspect for today's enterprise. After that, we'll be going quickly into why data is so important for today's enterprise and how it's helping out for digital transformation. We'll then be going into the details of sentiment analysis, social media, and how the entire feedback model for enterprises is changing as we move forward. We'll be finishing off with Monica talking about how Apache Flume can be used in collaboration with Twitter and Hadoop to enable a sentiment analysis model for the enterprise to understand their users better. We will end it off with the Q&A session. If you do have any questions, feel free to post them in the Q&A chat box on the right side panel. Or if you would like, you can raise your hand in the Q&A session, and we will unmute you so that you can ask your questions to us. Just to give you a quick introduction of Miracle, we are a global systems integrator headquartered in Novi, Michigan. We have been helping customers over the last 20 years. We were established in 1994. We are a company of about 2,000 employees globally with presence across the United States, Canada, Mexico, Germany, Australia, and major development centers in India. We also have presence in Atlanta, Arkansas, and Cincinnati as well, with regional offices. We pride ourselves in the fact that we're very technical. That is our strongest strength within all of them. And we also make sure that we are providing affordable innovation to our customers, which I'll talk about in a couple of seconds. Among most of the industry verticals, some of the main industry verticals that we cover at Miracle are manufacturing and automotive, energy and utilities. Logistics is a major space for us. Healthcare and retail, as usually, are booming. And banking and insurance is one of the largest industry verticals that we work in. Our expertise spans across many, many different areas, but some of the main reasons why Miracle is a trusted partner for our customers is we have multiple delivery centers, which helps us to enable customers with affordable innovation. Our strong partner network, which includes partnerships with the likes of IBM, SAP, and others. We have a deep technical and industry understanding, which we've gathered over the years. We also make sure that we are working every day to make sure that the adoption of new technology is quicker for our customers with the help of accelerators and frameworks. As I was saying, we have major partnerships with many of the big players in the technology space, including IBM, SAP, Microsoft, and Oracle. We're also partners with up-and-coming companies such as Apogee, Atlassian, and Pitney Bowes as well. So major technology vendors in there that we work along with on a day-to-day basis to help our customers be successful. The Miracle Innovation Labs is a unit that was formed many years ago by our organization. Within the Innovation Labs, we feel that the most important thing is to make sure that we can change an enterprise through innovation and through technology. At Miracle, we definitely feel that cost differentiation is not the only thing that's important to customers. That's obviously important to be successful and profitable, but to become disruptive in your particular industry verticals and make sure that you're successful in your market space, innovation is a key aspect to that. And we feel that that innovation has to be something that can be affordable for the enterprise so that you don't have to break the bank every time you want to do something new. Our teams make sure that they take years and years of real-time experience from our delivery teams and also apply research across all the new technologies to make sure that we're providing you with the right solution for your challenges. That being said, let's deep dive into digital transformation and data a bit. Digital transformation has been taking the industry by storm over the last couple of years, and some of the major aspects around this come along with the number of connected devices that have come in, the way social and mobile has exploded, 534 billion US dollars to be made in mobile transactions. That's a very, very large number. And we're seeing cloud also becoming such a dominant force in the enterprise today. APIs obviously providing the connectivity layer for all of these technologies, but one of the most important aspects of tomorrow's enterprise is data. And data has been something that we've collected through the enterprise for years and years, and now it's time to make sure that we can gain insight into that data. So as I was saying, data is not only something that you want to collect only to visualize, it's also something that can provide you with great customer insight. Um, Today, there are numerous retailers, numerous healthcare providers that are looking into customer data just to see how they're behaving, what they're liking, what they're not liking, what their preferences are. It's also very important to provide a consistent customer experience, and data channels are very important in terms of that. In today's world, omni-channel has become a reality. There are so many touch points, including social, mobile, push notifications, working on your desktop apps, in-store. So there's so many channels that have come up today that enterprises have to make sure that their data is consistent across all channels, and also reliable, which means that whenever the customer wants that data, it should be available for them in that consistent format. Also, it's also driving a lot of value in terms of personalized experiences for these customers. It's not enough to just understand your customer. You have to make sure that they're happy by making the right changes for them. So as I was saying, in today's customer-centric world, sometimes listening is more important for enterprises than talking. A couple of years ago, or maybe even longer than that, enterprises used to push all this marketing information, coupons, everything onto their customers. Well, today's world is a lot different. You can't just do mass marketing like that. You have to do personalized marketing or personalized messages to all your customers. So today, more than pushing all that data onto your customers, it's become so important for you to have to listen to your customers and hear what they're saying so that you can provide that personalized touch back to them. That's what we're calling new feedback model, where enterprises, in terms of sending questionnaires or stuff like that, are looking for new feedback channels. And Monica will be talking more about that as we move forward. And one of the things that's evolved over the years has been that enterprises have changed from traditional systems of record to systems of engagement. And we can see a lot of that happening because of the advent of mobile and social. But even more important, that something that we see as central for organizations for tomorrow is their systems of insight. And while systems of engagement and systems of record are collecting all this data internal to the organization and external to the organization, it is becoming very important for enterprises to harness this data to make sure that they understand their partners, employees, and customers, and gain valuable insight from that to make business decisions. Systems of insight are going to be the biggest power internally for organizations, and every organization is projected to become a technology company today or tomorrow. It has to happen sometime or the other. With that being said, let me hand it over to Monica, and she will be talking more to you guys about sentiment analysis with social media, Twitter, and how it can help the enterprises in their day-to-day activities. Monica, it's all yours.
Thank you, Janikya. As Janikya already said, big data is everywhere. Like if we consider the data generated over the years, and if we consider it as a whole, 90% of the data that is generated, 90% of the data generated is in the last 2 years. So out of which is 88% of it is unstructured data and 12% of it is only the structured data. So it's easier, I mean, it becomes difficult for us to store and process that data. And if we consider big data, there are a lot of sources which are generating big data. Like if we consider sensors, CC cameras, or airlines, and social media is the top of all. Like social media generates a huge amount of data, and firms like Google, eBay, LinkedIn, Facebook are built around uh, big data from the beginning. Like Facebook generates 500 terabytes of data a day, and the Twitter generates 12 terabytes of data per day. And the data generated is in a very huge amount, and it becomes very difficult to store. And when it comes to the processing part, it becomes even more difficult to process that data. Mm, yeah. So in the olden days, when a customer goes to a store and buys a product, the owner may ask for the feedback like, is the service good, or did he find all the needed products, or something like that. So it's only one touch point wherein a customer can interact with the enterprise. But as the technologies have advanced, there are many touch points provided to interact with the customers by the enterprises. Like the enterprises conducted surveys, or they used to form questionnaires, or they used to host a discussion group wherein the customers can give their feedback, and through that they can the enterprises can generate some data, some useful data out of it, and they can uh, generate I mean, they can take decisions, better decisions from that. But they're only limited to a handful of people, so they're not always accurate. And if you are making decisions using incorrect sentiment analysis data, results can be catastrophic. So now social media has gained much more importance in people's lives. Like people everywhere can express their views and thoughts through social media, uh, through which enterprises can listen to their thoughts and views, and they can change the products or modify the products to provide better customer satisfaction. Sentiment analysis. So sentiment analysis is nothing but discovery of meaningful patterns. If you take a block of text, we can determine that if the author is feeling positive or negative or neutral. Like for example, if I take a text as the movie was great, we can consider great as a keyword, and we can give the sentiment as positive to the great keyword. So the entire statement become a positive statement. Like that, we can also specify whether a statement is negative or neutral as well. And Hadoop can be termed as a solution for the big data problems. Hadoop was developed by Jeff Cutting in the year 2008. It's an open source software, and it provides a framework for storing and processing the big data. When we are producing huge amounts of data, it becomes difficult for us to store the data in our local file system, and it also becomes difficult to process that data using the existing methodologies or the traditional RDBMS. So Hadoop provides a framework wherein we can store our files in chunks, like we can divide a file into different parts and we can store it in the Hadoop file system. And by using the MapReduce, we can process that file. The MapReduce processes that file parallelly, like there are different parts. So it processes all the parts parallelly and gives the result in a faster way. Um, in the architecture, we can find the MapReduce and HDFS as the core components because they are used for storing and the processing parts. And when coming to the YARN framework, YARN is for yet another resource negotiator. Um, it's for resource management and job scheduling. And we have common utilities as well. Common utilities provides common library files for running the MapReduce jobs and for running Hadoop internally. And when there is a talk of Hadoop, we also get the talk of the clusters. Hadoop always runs on large clusters. We can group different nodes and form a cluster of commodity hardware. Commodity hardware is nothing but a cheap hardware. We can form a cluster and install Hadoop on it, and we can set it as a file system. So Facebook used to be the biggest Hadoop cluster with 4,000 nodes, but that record was beaten by Yahoo with the 4,500 node cluster. And Hadoop is developed using Java language. By using MapReduce, we can create MapReduce jobs in Java or R or Scala, Python, in whatever language we can. And it enables parallel processing. Flume is a streaming tool. It streams data into a centralized store. It's principally designed to copy streaming data, which is nothing but log data, from various web servers to HDFS. HDFS is the Hadoop distributed file system. Like if you assume an e-commerce web application wants to analyze their customer behavior from a particular region, they'll want to move the available log data into Hadoop for further analysis. So this is where Flume comes into picture. Flume helps us to move all the log data produced by the application service to HDFS at a higher speed. So here we can use Flume to not only get the log data into HDFS, but also the data generated by the web servers. So using Flume, we can stream the data to any centralized store like Hive, HDFS, or HBase. Flume also supports a wide set of sources like HTTP source, system log source, netcat, JMS source, which is nothing but Java message service. And when the rate of incoming data from the source exceeds the rate of which it's written to the destination, Flume acts as a mediator. Flume acts as a mediator between the source and destination, and it provides a steady flow of data between the source and the destination. So here is the architecture for Flume, wherein the data will be streamed from the web server to the source. Here source may be, like as we talked, it may be a HTTP source, a log file, or a netcat, or JMS source, or any other source. Through the source, we'll get the data passed through the channel. So here also we have a variety of channels like file channel, memory channel. Memory channel is the fastest way to transfer the data. And through the channel, the data is sent to sync in the form of events. Events are nothing but a block of data. So the sync may be an HDFS sync, Hive, or HBase. From the sync, yeah, we are writing it directly to HDFS. When users post tweets in Twitter, we can get the tweets into our local file system by using native methods, like we can create a program, use a Twitter API to get that tweets into our local file system. So the tweets will be in JSON format, which is hard for us to store in our local file system. It will be in huge size as well. So it's difficult for us to store and also process the data. We can't process the data using the traditional RDBMS because it's in JSON format. Here we are providing a model wherein we can store the data in Hadoop file system and process it using the MapReduce. For that, we are using Flume agent. Instead of getting the tweets using the Twitter API to the local file system, we can use a Flume agent which will stream the data directly to Hadoop distributed file system. So basically, the architecture starts from here. Like all the digital users who are holding a Twitter account may post something about a product, like if a new phone is launched into the market. So a user might post a tweet on its functionality, like, yeah, the phone's quality is good, resolution is good, or something. Some users may also post a negative tweets. Its battery life is not so good, like that. So they can post the tweets in Twitter, and we can get the tweets by using Flume agent. We can configure a Flume agent by configuring of a Flume agent. Flume agent mainly consists of the source, channel, syntax, what we talked about. And the configuration file is nothing but a Java property file which has key value pairs. Like we can configure it as this. Here we are using the Twitter example, so we can configure the source as Twitter, and channel maybe take it as memory, and sync will be our Hadoop distributed file system. So when we run that agent, when we run the Flume agent, the tweets which are posted by users in the Twitter will be directly streamed into the Hadoop distributed file system. Uh, but first, we have to create an application in apps.twitter.com. For creating an application in Twitter, we need to have a developer account, like a normal user account, but it should be registered with mobile. And after creating an account, we have to create an app in apps.twitter.com, and then we have to generate access tokens and customer secret tokens, and we will use all these secret tokens and customer tokens in the Flume agent configuration. So once we start the Flume agent, all the tweets will be streamed to our Hadoop distributed file system. So these tweets here can be used for further analysis. Like we have a Hive which provides a query-like structure for the data present in HDFS. So we can also use Hive to provide a query structure, and we can query the data which is present in the HDFS. We can query the tweets present in the HDFS. But in our model, we use MapReduce to process the tweets. Here we just created an application which gets the text part of the tweet, and it applies sentiment analysis for that. It gets the text of the tweet, and it will see whether it has positive keywords or negative keywords or neutral keywords, and it assigns sentiment score to that, and it will generate the sentiment out of the tweet. So by generating the sentiment analysis of the tweets, um, we'll get an idea of, like, yeah, this product is good, like it has a good rating over the other products, and if this has a better review than the product, or if that we have overall negative feedback, we can say that the product is not so good at working or anything. So we can take a business-driven decisions based on that. We can have uh, uh, BI intelligence. We can gain insights on the data. So further from this, we can also get the data to a BI tool. We can connect the Hadoop distributed file system to a BI tool, wherein we can generate graphs, and so the enterprises can take better data solutions. Mm. So the sentiment analysis is helpful for many industries. It's not just only for B2C, it's also used for B2B and B2E as well. So if we take media industry as an example, when coming to media, if we take a weather forecasting channel, it might want to get the review of a specific program. Like, yeah, they have a slot at some time, and if they get negative feedback on that program, they might want to change some parts or change the anchor or something like that. So if we take an automotive industry, in automotive industry, if we get sentiment analysis for the data generated by the automobiles, like if we take a car, if we take the same tweets posted by users who has used the particular car, they can say, like, yeah, this car's functionality is good, the GPS is working fine, or the color is good. So we can get all the sentiment like that, and it enables us for product usage, or for the preferences or the manufacturing process. So in the end, it's all about the customer satisfaction. And if we take healthcare industry, in healthcare industry, we can separate comments into like physicians, nursing, or pain management, wherein the hospitality, and we can use the sentiment analysis further for motivating the staff of the, the healthcare. And if we take the retail industry, we can track the product's health, what we told about our mobile example. We can track the product's health, and we can say that whether the customer has a positive review on the product or a negative review on it.
Uh, Perfect. Thank you so much, thank you so much, Monica. I think Monica's phone kind of got disconnected. That's what it's showing for me on the screen. But that should be fine. Just to finish off on what Monica was establishing over there, sentiment analysis is not only for retailers, even though there's a major use case over there. It can be used across a multitude of industries. And it's not just in the B2C case where you're talking about trying to get sentiment from your customers, but it's also between partners in the B2B model as well. You might not want to know if you rolled out a new partner policy or you have a new system in place. You might want to know how your partners are feeling about it. And this sentiment doesn't have to just be generated from Twitter. It could be a blog. It could be coming from log files. Flume can be bringing data from a multitude of sources for you, and you can analyze that as you want and write custom algorithms using MapReduce or Spark or whichever engine is processing your data in Hadoop. It can also be a B2E case where you're trying to gather sentiment of your employees. Let's say suppose you pushed out a new HR policy and you want to see how the employees are feeling about that, or maybe you ask them to work overnight, or maybe you ask them to work through Thanksgiving. How do the employees feel about that? You want to know that, and that information can be really vital for the enterprise. Perfect. So that pretty much wraps up our presentation for today. If anybody does have any questions, please do post them in the Q&A chat box on the right side panel, or you can raise your hand and one of our team members will unmute you so that you can ask your questions. Shiva, any questions for us?
Yes, I do have a question from Jeremy Mash. The question was, I was wondering if the presentation will be emailed out since I would get a copy. Yes, Jeremy, you would get a copy of it. It will be available at microsoft.com/webinar in next 3 business days, and it will be available as a replay. If anyone has any question, please do raise your hand or put your question on the right side chat box. Chanaka, I don't think we have any other questions. You can go on.
Perfect. Can you go to the next slide, please? Great. So once again, thank you so much for coming in and spending your time with us today. If you need anything, please feel free to email us at innovation@miraclesoft.com. As Shiva said, the webinar replay will be available at miraclesoft.com/library, or you can go to miraclesoft.com/webinars and check it out. Also, within the Innovation Labs team, we take care of other technologies, including mobility, IoT, DevOps, and API economy as well. So if you have any questions or any cool ideas around those spaces, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to help out. We also have a couple of more webinars coming through over the next couple of weeks as part of the Innovation January month. So you might want to check those out at microsoft.com/webinars. Once again, this is Chanakya Lokam from the Innovation Labs team, and thank you so much for coming into our webinar today. Have a great day, everyone.